Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm on my Debian 11 Bullseye installation on the T3500 BIOS boot only. And when I installed on this system right here, on this computer, after I was through installing it and I booted up for the first time, I went ahead and installed Simple Screen Recorder. And that's how I made these videos. And I actually made 4, but the 4th one was kind of too frivolous to even include. They're too long to make into one video unless I wanted to go 55 minutes, and I don't. So I broke it into 3 different segments here, and we're going to go over the first one. There it is. This is Xfce.org, their webpage. And some of the things that I use, like the whisker menu, is not available unless it comes in with a pack strap or whatever the spin uses to install it. For instance, if you're in FreeBSD and you install Xfce, you're not going to get the goodies, or I think it may be called extras over there. And here's a list. Actually, this is like a wiki page in the applications. It goes through a big long thing here to tell you that these have been deprecated or no longer. Let's see how to read only wiki. And here's the details of what comes in on the Xfce4 goodies during the Debian installation. The biggest one for me is the whisker menu plug-in that'll come in. Now you can get it separately. You don't have to install all of this. You can get each one of these separately. The second one I use is netload plugin. Now here you have a certain amount of packages, but here on the Arch Linux wiki or Arch Linux package page for the Xfce goodies, there's actually 37 packages that are available. Only 2 are available in the community repositories, Parole and the whisker menu plugin. So it's like I said, this is Xfce4-goodies. Some distributions, mainly in the BSDs, will call it extras. I've seen it called extras. I'm gonna just close this out here, but make sure these links get in the description, and we'll get started. Now this, like I said, I installed it, I booted up and installed Simple Screen Recorder. And you'll see some of my process of what I do. The first thing is this is called the applications menu, and if that's for you, you're in good shape. But for me, it's not. And first thing I usually do is get rid of this Xfce plugin dock right there. Unlock the panel, and I'm going to drag it to the bottom. You can see mine's on the bottom now. And because I'm old, I'm going to make the taskbar bigger, larger. And we're going to go over here and adjust the size automatically. I don't know, I guess you saw the get bigger here, the icons. And I'm going to search for the whisker menu, and we'll add that. Alright, now we're going to search for that net plugin that I like and add that. Close this out. We're going to get rid of the applications menu now that I know that whisker menu is available. And we'll just use the arrow button and put it all the way on the left over there. Over here. Alright, so move my monitor, you'll see my network monitor plugin is right next to the Wi-Fi network manager applet. That was a nice little tip there. I was talking and didn't do it. You'll go back into your preferences here, the items, and you find it's called the System Tray plugin. I'll get to that here in a second. Alright. And double click on it. Right there. Double click it. And right here, adjust the size automatically. And you saw those, or maybe you back up and look, you'll see those get a little bigger. Alright, so that does that part of it. So now I got my menu halfway set up. My taskbar is partially set up. But it's ready to start doing stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go into my settings. I'm not going to worry so much about the appearance right now. I'm going to go ahead and make some tweaks. And here you don't have to browse removable media when inserted. You can uncheck all those and mount those manually if you choose to. Alright, and here I'm going to select the lower. If you'll notice, when I click on the terminal that's open, the top bar there is the blue. The active window has the blue header. While I'm in here, I might as well tweak my terminal a little bit. I like the I-beam and I want it to blink. The position and height and all that's usually pretty good here. Here I am going to make it the font one size bigger. I'm going to pause this video. I want to show you this. If I go into, I think I can do it from here, panel preferences, and I go to appearance, you can see right here it says background. It says style none. Alright, so you have an option. You can make it a solid color or a background image. In fact, I'm not even in the right spot here. This is terminal preferences. Go find that real quick. Should have just listened to the video. There it is. Alright, so if I come here and go to appearance, here we can select background or none, and we can select a background image. Might take this, click on here and navigate to it, select it, or you can say transparent and you can adjust it however you want to. I just leave mine to none. If you will like that thing, no, that's the way you do it. Alright, let's go hit play here. Colors, I'm going to go ahead and select seems to be a good option for my eyes, green on black. And I'm through. And now it's got all of our new settings in it. So mouse and touchpad, I'll leave that alone, but for power, when I hit the power button, I want it to ask me and then shut off. I'm going to turn this blank screen stuff off. I'm not going to lock the screen. Now those are important if you're on a laptop, mostly on a laptop. You'll notice there is no screensaver that came in, although in the Xfce4-goodies package it was listed, not on the Debian but on the Arch Wiki. Now here you already have a shortcut to open up your what they call in the super key, and that's Alt W, I believe. Let's see if I see it. Alt F1, that's the application menu. Here it is, Super plus L. So if I hit Super plus L on mine right now, it'll open up the whisker menu. But I have mine set up to where I just hit the whisker, what's called the super key. So I made an error there, and I left it here because I want you to see that even if you mess up, it's fairly easy to correct. I'm going to select the one I just directed it to. Say OK, and I hit the super key, and now my menu opens. Simple little things. Alright. Now, let's continue with the menu here. Let's do the Synaptic Package Manager. I should have did that first before I even started the video. Absolutely, this should be the first thing you should do, especially if you're running a older ISO. I told it to reload. Let's see what kernel we're running. Should be the 5.10.016. Alright, I'm going to mark all the upgrades. There's the upgrades. We're going to click apply and apply. Now we can go back to the menu, I do believe. Go to right click on the menu button and go to properties. Here you can adjust whether you see all of the, you can set it up however you want it. That's in the way you couldn't see it. I'll show you this. Whisker menu is pretty versatile. Right now I've still got the icon view. Now, you pause this. Up here at the top, on this menu, you'll see right there it says lock. And I'm going to untick it right here and it'll disappear. And it's gone. And I know that's a little thing, but it's just one more clutter. One more bit of clutter. Alright. Now the panel button, we can select just the icon or icon and a title, and it's called by default applications. I like to change that. Let's see what version of Xfce, if we're running the latest, and it's 4.16, and it is the latest according to the website. We're going to change this to Debian, if I can spell it. And if you're not sure what your distribution is called, there's a file on your system. Most systems, there's only been a couple that this was not on, and it'll tell you OS release. And this is Bullseye and 11. So that's cat/Xfce/OS-release. And that'll show you some information about your distribution. There's other ways to see that, but that's one way. Alright, so I realize now my icon's there. I'm going to change that. You'll see that changed. Now, if you're not familiar, let me pause this again. If you're not familiar with what things do and what they're called, in this properties menu right here, you can tell it to show application tooltips and or descriptions. So let's just do those. And now you can see I got a description of everything that it does. Oh, it won't show you but one or the other, I guess. So here we're showing tooltips and all that, but once you get where you know those, that's not important. You hit play. I'm gonna run this video late. So now I'm gonna set up my favorites while I'm waiting on the upgrade here. Move the simple screen recorder to my favorites. And there's not that much installed at this point to move over to my favorites. It's a fairly bland Xfce install, which I actually prefer. I like some of the background stuff to be there, but this other stuff most of this I would have installed anyway. There's some things that I wouldn't have installed, like the TIX terminal. Then I'll probably get rid of that. I haven't yet, but I might. So I just put Firefox. This is one way to move it in the items panel preferences in the items tab. I think I'm going to show you another way to move that. Add the panel. Now you can go over to it, right click on it, and say move, and then go over to wherever you want it and click it, and there it is. Alright, so our updates are over with. And really I should reboot, but I'm going to go ahead and install my programs. Maybe I can fast forward this a little bit. Some of the things I wasn't sure if they were in there or not. You'll see that here. I'm going to include Nomax, which is not found. There it is. So I'll take that out. And I misspelled this. It should be an O on the end of it, Ristretto. But that comes in by default anyway. Pretty sure. While that's running, let me look. That would be under graphics. Yeah, right there, Ristretto, which is a decent image viewer. Okay, so I mounted my FAT32, and I'm going to find my notes. And right now this is mousepad, so I'm going to have to set it up. So if I ever use mousepad, it's set up the way I want it. I'm going to wrap long lines, and I'm going to increase the font size and give it a background or a theme. But I'm going to use FeatherPad in the end. I just want this set up so if for some reason the mousepad opens up some other program, some other text file, then I won't have to do anything. Let me fast forward here once, twice, 3 times. I think I'm fast forwarding. Yeah, Xfce's not available by default. Alright, so I've copied that list, and this is what I just installed, but I realized PCman FM is not there, so let me install that real quick. Fast forward 10 seconds. 10 seconds. We'll remove that battery plug-in, power plug-in. Not on a laptop, I don't need it. No batteries installed. Here we're going to, I could show you, in fact, this is what that clock looks like by default. Let me see if I can just show you mine without pausing that. Go to my properties, open that up where you can see it. Here I'm using Comic Sans MS Bold for the font. The size is 11, and this is my color that I selected. This has got angled brackets in it, so I can't post it. And we're missing something here I wanted to show. That net plugin, it's time to set that up. Not good it did me to record a video if I'm not going to use it. Alright, so we're still waiting there. So let's go here, my net, right click on it. This is the network monitor. And usually it'll be listed as WLAN 0, but it's not listed as WLAN 0 in Debian. And it tells you right here it's error not found. Okay. So right click on your Wi-Fi icon or network manager applet. Left click on your connection, and down at the bottom under device it'll give you the code or the ID label, and just copy and paste it or write it in and say okay. Sorry about all that blackout stuff. I hadn't thought. Now I'm gonna ping the network, and you should see this right here working. There you see it working. So now that's on. You see mine working. Alright, so now let's attend to the wallpaper a little bit, the desktop. We'll get rid of some of these icons. We'll leave the trash on there as a throwback to my earlier computer days. Not going to say from where, but you know. This is the wallpapers that are included by default. Now this is not in, usually their wallpapers are in user share backgrounds, but here it's in images, under user share images. And it does list two. We got vendor logos, which you'll see this is the one I'm using right now. Select the logo, go over to the style and say center, and boom. That's the one I'm using right now. By no means do you have to use that as a wallpaper. You can, I'm pretty sure they've even got wallpapers you can download. There's where your backgrounds usually are. Alright, back to my notes here. Got all my software that I need installed. So far I've got my taskbar set up the way I wanted it. Let's fast forward. Okay, I'm gonna go back into that USB drive, open my notes back up, and we're gonna open it up with FeatherPad this time, and I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that, configure this the way I want it. So go to options and preferences right here under text tab, go down, and I'm gonna tell it to use a dark color theme. Eventually I will. Dark color theme. It's going to tell me I need to restart the system or the program software, so I will. And you'll see it's dark. Hopefully we'll do something about the font size. Usually about 15, 16 is great for my eyes. And back into preferences under the tab or text tab right here. Usually when you click on that, it's going to just open up your home folder because it's not going to know where to go, but it was already installed by default. I thought that was excellent. And I don't know, I'm assuming that came in with FeatherPad. It could have come in with a Firefox, but I think it came in with FeatherPad. Let's see if it works. Yep. Nice. So it works just fine. That's called Unspell. Unspelled dictionaries. All right. Put that on my desktop, or on my panel, I'm sorry. Move it. There we go. Now we're going to adjust the preferences here. I don't want it to confirm when I delete. It's in my trash can. I look at my trash can before I delete. And we're going to tell it to give me a detailed list view. And I'm going to change it to a directory tree. Now it should be time to start setting up my favorite. So under accessories, we're going to add GNOME disk utility, OBS Studio. And I'm going to fast forward this because you can see my, let me pause this. You'll see my menu right now. Featherpad, File Manager, which is Thunar, Disk, GNOME Disk, OBS Studio, which I'm using now, Kdenlive as a flat pack, Audacity, Krita, System Monitor, GNOME System Monitor, and I haven't been able to find the System Monitoring Center yet. GUVC View, Voco Screen, Simple Screen Recorder, Synaptic Package Manager, and System Profile and Benchmark. Let's see. I installed this on August the 3rd, 2020. So it's been a little while. Let me go ahead and play that. So as soon as I get my menu set up the way I want it, usually I will, at that point, start worrying about the other stuff. For instance, VirtualBox. Make sure we don't have any updates to anything I've installed already. I guess not. Alright. We're going to look for Kdenlive, and I want you to notice it is available in the regular repositories, Debian repositories. And so is Flatpak, which is what I want because I want the Flatpak version of Kdenlive. So let's install that. Say apply. Say apply. So when I was doing the terminal installation of my software, I could have just included Flatpak in that list. Fast forward. Alright, so now let's look back at Kdenlive. And there's no indication that's anything but the regular repository. In other words, it's not a Flatpak. Alright, close out of that. I'm going to reboot because of the Flatpak. Alright, so that's going to end this section. Now, coming up in the next section is I'm going to install VirtualBox and do some more tweaking. So, stay tuned for that. This is the end of part 1. I'll see you on part 2. Thanks. Peace out, guys. Bye.